Our family is very much like this nation that we all love. It's a melting pot. But the unique part about this is, what a lot of people don't realize, is Clay's part in us adopting Cecily is vital. Because without Clay, Cecily would be dead today. Welcome to A Simple Life and happy Father's Day. I want to tell you an amazing story, a beautiful story. But what really triggered me thinking about the story is the boys and I yesterday were in the garden and we were weeding. And we're weeding and we're weeding, and there's only really one bed that we have to weed on a regular basis. And it made me think about this story. And I want to share it with you. So you're gonna have to get a few tissues. I'm not promising you'll need them, but I may need them, so get them for me, okay? Let's go for a walk in the woods, and I'll tell you the story. The boys and I, we were working in the garden, and I'm thinking through the whole idea of how we've planted and how we're going to plant in the future, and what are the pain points of gardening this year. And I realized about a half an hour every day spent weeding. As I'm looking at this, I'm realizing that like our kale isn't having the same issue. Our potatoes, they're not having the same issue. The difference with the one portion of the garden is almost everything in there was started from seeds, except for the leeks and the onions. It's all the other little things that I'm thinking of. And I'm realizing that as we weed, there's probably some plants that are getting torn out. And I started to think about this. I'm thinking about how we're going to, in the future, we're gonna start our own plants from seeds. And how does that look? And what does that look like? And why do we do it? Does it save money? Does it cost money? Is it worth the time? And I'm realizing it is worth the time. And the reason why it's worth the time is because every plant I then plant is mature enough, potentially, to handle the real world. 2020, Christine and I had started talking lightly about adopting again. You know, we're thinking about time frames, ages of children, all that kind of stuff. And I realized we need to get on the ball immediately because there's no time like right now to be prepared for adopting. So I go in the house, I go, hey, Christine, I go, I think it's time that we contact the adoption agency and tell them that we're ready to adopt again. And it's a big ordeal. You have to go through training, home study, all the stuff. It's like 9-10 months before you even get close to adopting. So we go through all this, and we're in I think it was like March of 2021 now. And we are about 2 weeks away from being able to start applying for adopting a child. And so Christine and I are pretty excited, and Christine puts pictures and stuff like that up on a pretty regular basis. And so that was one of those days she did that. And as she was doing that, she realized there was a comment posted, and it was, hey, I'm getting an abortion Friday. And it was like, basically like, celebrate with me. Yeah, I know. Heartbreaking that that's where we are, where we celebrate ending a child's life. I know there's all kinds of reasons why people justify it, but there are thousands of families out there that want to adopt just like ours. So I tell Christine, I say, you know, we're almost done being vetted for adopting. I go, maybe ask her to take it to term for us. And this is on Monday. So we don't hear anything Tuesday, don't hear anything Thursday, which is the day that she's scheduled to have an abortion. And Friday comes, and to be honest, I was a little heartbroken. Not like I was owed this opportunity or anything like that, but that this life was going to be stolen from our world in many ways. So I tell Christine, I go, you didn't hear anything? Fine. I was like, just can you check Facebook, see if there's a message that, you know, didn't come through or something? I don't know. And so sure enough, she had messaged us on Thursday, but Christine never gotten the message through Facebook Messenger. Now it's Friday. I'm like, write her, see what happened. She messaged you and said that she would take the baby to term. Like, she not hear back from us and like still get an abortion? Like, what's going on here? Those chain of events included us stepping out and deciding to foster and adopt, Clay joining our family, us deciding to adopt again, and then a crazy event of going on Facebook and reading a post of a mother who was deciding to get an abortion and reaching out to her and seeing, well, if she would take it to term for us. What does that have to do with Clay? Well, Clay is the biological brother to Cecily. And if it wasn't for the fact that we had adopted Clay, Cecily wouldn't be in our lives today. At all. If we hadn't replied to that message, there's a good chance she wouldn't even be alive. And the only reason why we had that connection was because of Clay. That's why I say Clay is the reason for Cecily being alive. I know. It's a miracle. Trust me. Every time we talk about it and tell the story, I don't know a person that doesn't get goosebumps and doesn't say, wow, what an incredible, amazing thing that happened. I think every parent's desire is to nourish, love, and raise children that will add to society. At least I would hope so. I don't know anymore. It's one of the reasons why that idea of having transplants, you raise a child in a protected and nourished environment, especially if you know they need it. And they all need it. And then you transplant them into society. And hopefully that process is done in such a manner that they're ready for it. I think that's what really hit me when I was thinking about how we're gonna garden in the future and realizing in the future, I wanna raise my plants in a more controlled environment. So that way when I put them out in my garden, not only do I not have to fight the weeds, but they don't have to fight the weeds because I've already raised them and they have strong roots. They have strong leaves. They can absorb the light that they need. They can reject the weeds around their feet. It's an idea I think we all need to think more about. How are we preparing our children for this world? Are they prepared? Especially right now. God bless. Have a good one. Happy Father's Day once again. Bye.